Guys, I'm here on the Jordanian border, here on a farm. Guys, we're going to talk about today the fourth front of this war with Hamas and Hezbollah. The Arab world around Israel is getting a little shaky, and we're going to talk about that right here. As you can see behind me, the border with Jordan. We're going to talk about the cowboys and how they're addressing the war here, the Judea and Samaria region, the fourth front. I'm Joshua, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome back to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Guys, we're jumping right in. We're live here on a farm. The cowboys are here. We've got about 20 volunteers out in the fields on a farm just here in the Jordan Valley. As you can see behind me, Jordan, just to tell you right now, pretty quiet. There's rumors that the Jordanians have started to do some drills and things like that. For this point, we don't know exactly what that looks like, but here right now, pretty quiet over there. I hear some minarets going off, but that's normal. Pretty quiet on this side. Not like the Gaza border, obviously, down south, and the northern border with Hezbollah and Lebanon, Syria fronts. Those are also heating up. But we're going to talk about today the front with Gaza, number one. The front with Lebanon and Syria, 2 and 3. The fourth front of this war is one that nobody's really talking about, and that's what we're going to address today. As everybody knows, the cowboys are now in Israel. I've probably talked to 100 reporters in the last 24 hours about the cowboys. We've been on interview after interview after interview. I don't know if there's anybody in the world that doesn't know about the cowboys that have arrived. And honestly, everybody's asking the question, what are they doing in Judea and Samaria, what the world calls the West Bank? But by the way, that's Arab propaganda. West Bank, everybody that uses the terms West Bank has been duped into the Arab propaganda that says this is West Bank. Guys, it's a mountain region. My gracious, if you want to call it the bank, maybe this little piece that I'm standing on right now could be called a bank, but not the entire region. All of Judea and Samaria is no bank. It's a big mountain region. So literally the world has been duped by Arab propaganda into calling this area the West Bank. So number one, stop being duped by Arab propaganda and get it right. We're talking about Judea and Samaria. This is the biblical heartland of Israel. And this is the fourth front of this war. And very soon, I believe the world will find out. Lord willing, this does not happen, but we need to make you aware of what's the actual situation here. So I'm going to outline for you right now what the actual situation here in Judea and Samaria. There's 500,000 Jews here. They're surrounded by 2 million Arabs. Now the big question is, are those 2 million Arabs just like the Arabs of Gaza? And will they attack these communities, these 200 communities throughout Judea and Samaria? We're talking about small communities just dotted out throughout the regions here, surrounded by immense populations of Arabs. And how hostile are those Arabs? Well, I'll tell you from personal experience, from being around here and going into the Arab villages. Number one, Hamas is very popular here. Everyone says that Hamas is not popular. No, Hamas is very popular. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. They're having Hamas rallies in many of the places here. Hebron is being run by Hamas. They're having Hamas rallies in Nablus, Shechem, and in Jenin, and all these places. Hamas is very popular here. And I'll say if they're not with Hamas, they're with one of the other 22 terror organizations operating in this region. The other thing is to note is the political world is telling everyone that the Palestinian Authority is some sort of moderate in this situation. We've talked about this many times on the show, but I want to clarify again. All the Palestinian leadership are saying in Arabic that they're hoping and wishing for the same kind of massacre. They want to repeat October 7th here upon the communities in Judea and Samaria. Now that should frighten the world, and it should not only frighten us, but it should put us into gear. We should say never again, and we should mean it. These communities are in desperate situation. The Arabs here are violent. We're talking about a majority of the communities around here have enough violence within them. Just last night, there was a shooting. A husband, wife, and the child were shot. Pray for them. They're critically injured. This just happened. This is radical Islam in motion here in Judea and Samaria. Last week we saw a terrorist attack killing a husband. Incredibly difficult situation.
We'll be right back with the rest of the show, but first, let me tell you about the Israel Bible Book of Psalms Pray Like David edition. This unique book of Psalms is in both Hebrew and English with a verse-by-verse English transliteration. That's more than 30,000 Hebrew words made accessible to you, allowing you to read, pronounce, and understand every Hebrew word of the Psalms. Reading Psalms brings comfort and strength to the heart and soul, and now you can read them in King David's original words in Hebrew. For a limited time, our friends at Israel 365 are extending an exclusive discount to viewers of the Israel Guys. Just use the code TheIsraelGuys at checkout, and you can get the Israel Bible Book of Psalms for only $24.99, nearly 40% off the retail price of $39.99. Dive into the Psalms, walk in the footsteps of King David, and pray with renewed passion and understanding. With the Israel Bible Book of Psalms Pray Like David edition, you'll pray like you never have before. Click the link in the description below to buy the Israel Bible Book of Psalms today.
I want you to understand the situation here is very volatile. We've always been here to tell the good report of what's happening. But right now you need to understand that Israel is at war, not only in Gaza and not only on the front in Lebanon and Syria. They're at war in Judea and Samaria. This area is critical. It overlooks Tel Aviv. 75% of the population of Israel lies down on the coastline of Israel. These 500,000 Jewish people are holding the line from a radical wave of Islam that if they don't hold the line here, Tel Aviv will pay for it. Just like in Gaza. They gave up Gaza. The brave pioneers that were holding the line in Gaza, in those areas that they pulled out back in 2006. If they had not have pulled out, this atrocity would not have happened. So you have to understand that Israel cannot play a game of appeasement right now. This is not the time to appease the enemies and appease the world. It's time for Jewish life to be protected. And the way to protect Tel Aviv is to strengthen the communities of Judea and Samaria and say never again. We're not going to allow a terrorist organization, just like Hamas did in Gaza, to take over a region of Israel. Can you imagine if this area became a Palestinian state, as the Biden administration only dreams of establishing here and is pushing for it harshly? If that happens, you have people with all of this weaponry that would be pushed straight through Jordan and straight from all the Arab countries around, directly. You can see the Ben Gurion airport from the mountain range. This is insane. It can't happen. It's suicide to the nation of Israel, and it cannot happen. The communities here have to be strengthened. They have to be girded up, and that's what we're doing here. Everything we can. We're with the Operation Itai. Operation Itai is here not only to bring help to the farmers, the critical support that they need. While so many farmers are on the front lines, today we're harvesting crops here. The cowboys are in gear. We're putting fences around the farms to keep the wild animals from destroying the crops. We're harvesting. We're doing everything that the tie workers are leaving the country. That's the main majority of work here. On top of all the guys that are in the reserve duties, it's also a really, really trying time here. So we're here to fill the void. There's not many people filling these voids. We need more. We've got to bring more support. I think the biggest thing we can do right now is reach $29 million of supplies that are needed to protect the communities. After that, we need to get more boots here on the ground to help with these specific needs. So we're asking you right now, the biggest thing you can do to help us is to reach that $29 million goal of Operation Itai to bring the supplies. Our first airlift arrived yesterday. We'll have many more lifts coming in. These supplies are some of the biggest things we can do to help Israel. But remember, this front is very significant. Do not underestimate the situation here and the war against the Jewish communities in Judea and Samaria. And without these communities, the survival is Israel must have these communities in order to survive as a nation. They can't survive without 500,000 Jews holding down Israel's biblical lands here in Judea and Samaria. Guys, with that, let's go check out a few of the cowboys that are in action out in the field. Hey guys, right now we're in a greenhouse here again in the Jordan Valley. Zeke is, did you ever expect you to be picking peppers here in the Jordan Valley?
No, nothing I ever thought I'd be doing.
No? Zeke left 900 bales of hay back home to get over here to help pick these peppers. But hey, you know what the big thing is that this farmer here today just came in from the military. He was on reserve duty, and this has been a huge, guys, this greenhouse, these peppers just keep going for miles and miles. We must have picked a couple tons of peppers this morning, and it's been a huge help to this farmer. So, there you go, Zeke. Thank you. Good work. All right, so we're here in the field with John. John, you're one of the cowboys. John and I are old buddies from before. Now, nobody ever thought that you'd be like a viral piece of content, but today, John's not only a friend, but he's probably the most viral friend I know. Did you ever think you'd be viral like this? Like all of it? I don't know if there's an Israeli that is not yet aware, like the Cowboys is you right now.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought you'd be like that? I mean, that's kind of wild.
Definitely not. That was the last thing I was expecting coming here. I figured I'd just slip under the radar.
like would normally be the case.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's a real opportunity we have today to come out and serve these communities. As we talked about before, the guys and gals that are all on reserve duties fighting for the country. And it's a real honor to be able to be here and to help these farmers. We're here in the Jordan Valley. And John, what do you got to say about that? How do you feel about this opportunity to be able to help the communities here?
I'm just excited to be here. When we get the call, we need to answer it, and so that's the gist of it.
What are you doing?
We're out here in the Jordan Valley picking zucchinis or cucumbers. I can't get them right, but
You're obviously not a produce farmer.
no. Well, actually, I grew up. We did it a lot. We did it with horses, but I never got the names down right. I'm not smart.
Most of the time out building on construction sites. So now picking the zucchini, and before we were actually weeding in the greenhouses, the pineapples over in the greenhouses over here. So had you ever weeded pineapple before? You never thought you'd be weeding pineapple?
I haven't even seen a pineapple on it in the ground. As far as I knew, it could have came off a tree.
All right, guys. So that's the Cowboys in action out here. And you know what? It's just a great honor to be able to stand with the people of Israel today. John, can you say the words that we've been practicing?
I'll try, but I'm not good at it. So it's Am Israel Chai.
That was pretty good. Am Israel Chai.